And welcome back, everyone, to your Delta News on your overtime. Stephen Robinson here. As we teased earlier, we have a special guest with us. He is none other than the J.O.B., as I used to call him back in the day, Johnny O'Brien, Cleveland native, as well as Eastside High School graduate and two-time SEC, all-SEC performer at LSU, who later went on to become an NBA draft pick 10 years ago, matter of fact, by the Milwaukee Bucks. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, Johnny, to join us here on Overtime. So glad to have you.
For sure, I'm glad to be here.
All right, Johnny, you're here this weekend for a very, very special reason. We're going to touch on basketball and all your exploits coming up in just a minute or so. But we first want to talk about this very special trip that you've made here back home to the Delta, where you're about to make another trip down south to Baton Rouge for a special occasion. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so it's been a long time coming. I left LSU as a junior to go follow my dreams of playing in the NBA, and I had one more year left at college. And so throughout that time, my mom has always been kind of on me about, go finish your last year, And when you're young, and you're trying to make a name for yourself in the league, establish a career, so you kind of not really thinking about it. But as I've gotten older, it's been something I've been trying to do, and finally been able to get it accomplished and get my degree from LSU this weekend.
And what are you getting your degree in?
Sports administration and sports management.
Mm-hmm. Now again, this is a promise that you made to your mom some years ago that you would earn your degree.
Yeah.
Why was it so important for you to stick with that promise?
Just because it was something that she was really passionate about, and then something that I knew was very obtainable for me. And I knew going forward, you can't play basketball forever. I know it feels like it when you're young, but as you start to get a little bit older, you realize that it's something that you may need and a good thing to have on your resume going forward. So.
And how tough was that able to juggle playing professionally? Because again, played in the NBA and then you went overseas to play as well, still playing overseas. But how tough was it to try to continue pursuing your dream of playing pro basketball as well as working towards your degree?
It was very tough. I think, like I said, I think shout out to the people in the LSU sports academic department that really helped me. My friends and family, my mom, also my former AAU coach, they were very highly involved and, between communicating with myself in the school while I was overseas. So it was, I had a lot of help from a lot of different people and, coordinating, the schedule and, helping me, get the classes going. And, it took a group, took a village. So
at the same time, some people might say, and you hear this a lot with athletes, well, you're making all this money. Why
Sure.
is it necessary for you to earn your degree? What do you have to say to those that might look at life that way when they say, well, you've reached the highest of your profession, playing on the level of professional basketball. You played in the NBA, made perhaps a truckload of money. So why should you go back and try to earn your degree? What do you have to say to those that might have that mindset, especially young athletes?
Yeah, I think, for me, I kind of look at it as another challenge, or another accomplishment to notch. And also, too, I think, I'm 31 now, and I think
Still a young man.
Yeah, man. So when you get up in age, you still have those rare moments where you can make mom proud and you can, I have a wife and kids and they can see me graduate. And I think it just made a lot of sense, man. And, it was something that I wanted to add to my personal accomplishments. And also, too, I think, as you start to transition slowly into your next career, it's going to be one of those things where you could say, hey, I'm a college graduate, and I did it all on my own, and I worked. So,
yeah. So well said. And one note that I found out that was so interesting too, when it comes to education and how important it is to your mom. Some years ago, while playing in high school, you were pulled off the basketball team by mom because you were slacking in your grades. Take me back to that moment, if you don't mind, and why that was so important, that lesson that you learned as well.
Yeah, so ninth grade, I started to that was kind of the rise of becoming Johnny O'Brien. I was traveling. Well, really, I was traveling a lot. going to different camps, flying around for AAU, and you know, started to feel myself a little bit, and my grades started to drop, and I was on the verge of kind of failing in ninth grade, and my mom was like, all right, let's nip this in the bud, you know. We're gonna take a step back, and she knew that basketball, because like I said, it was the one thing that I was starting to really fall in love with. You know, she knew taking me away from that would definitely make me focus to try to hurry up and get back. So, nah, that's definitely true.
All right. Well, a lesson I'm sure that you took to heart, and a lesson that definitely helped you develop as a person and become the young man that you are now. And I'm sure that you'll apply those lessons to your own children as you're raising them now in terms of the importance of education. Well, I tell you what, Johnny, is going to take a short break, but when we return, we're going to talk a little about your love for basketball and how deep does it go in terms of when you first started to fall in love with this round ball game. Johnny O'Brien, the J.O.B., joining us here on Overtime. We'll be right back with much more.